You are working on this VF for Military Families Act that would cover infertility diagnosis, treatment, IVF for military families. Where do things stand as far as getting IVF covered? The insurance industry, our committees working on that. Do you see a bipartisan effort happening there?
So right now for service members who are covered under the TRICARE insurance, which is all service members, in order to get fertility treatment covered, you have to prove that it was service connected, which is really hard to prove. But 1 in 4 military families report experiencing infertility, and it makes sense, right? We're asking them to go to really dangerous places far away from their partners in their prime reproductive years. I would venture a guess a lot of the chemicals we're exposing them to, a lot of the other things we're asking them to do are pretty bad for fertility.
Even the psychological stuff, the mental component is key there in terms of the stress and various things that they undergo.
Absolutely. And so what we're saying is you shouldn't have to prove service connection. All service members should have IVF covered under TRICARE. And actually, starting this year, members of Congress and our staff have access to IVF being covered under our insurance. And so we're just saying service members should get the same benefits that members of Congress and our staff are able to get. Right now, we don't have any Republican co-leads, but we are working and talking to Republicans about this. I think it should be a bipartisan issue, right? President Trump has said he wants to expand access to IVF. This is a very easy, concrete way to do it.
And then beyond military families to non-military families, where do things stand there as far as IVF?
So there is a bill to expand fertility treatment to everyone to make it mandatory for insurance coverage. Right now, certain states have that. So again, District of Columbia has it, which is why members of Congress and our staff are able to have access to that. California, where I represent, does have some provisions like that, although they're a bit hard to access and you have to prove infertility. There is a bill to expand access, insurance coverage of all fertility treatments. I'm a co-sponsor of that bill. So far, we haven't had any Republican interest in moving that forward. But I think access to fertility treatment is a very important part of reproductive freedom, right? Reproductive freedom to me is both choosing not to have a kid, but also having an accessible, affordable way to build a family if you want to. So we're going to keep pushing. But so far, we haven't had any Republicans work with us on it. And Trump hasn't actually done anything on this executive order that he says he wants to increase access to IVF. But listen, I hope that he wants to. I don't trust him for anything really, but listen, if he wants to, we want to.
The executive order was about coming back to him with recommendations. I think sometime this month.
We're game. Let's get fertility access for everyone.
So if there's an invitation to the White House to discuss all things IVF, you're there.
On that particular issue, and probably only that particular issue, yes.